Hey, Joe Mastriano, CPA, over 40 years and thousands of successful IRS tax cases. So today, let's talk about tax fraud. It's going on like crazy now. With the internet, information is more available to people, especially AI, and people from other countries, whether it's India, China, Russia, who cares? Although I can help spot by knowing how people from other countries speak. So let me give you an example. Yesterday, a client of mine sent me a letter that he got, and it had me going for a while. It was from the local county saying that they are going to levy him for IRS liabilities that he owes personally. So here's the things to look for that I discovered. It had a no, a form number that was a IRS form. I don't remember exactly what it was now, but when I looked it up, it was an IRS form that had to do with another type of matter, not collections. The county, it was Brazoria County or something, didn't have any such form. That was tell number one. The liability was in whole dollars. I can't remember the last time I got a computer generated letter from the IRS or from a state department that didn't have the decimal and pennies after it. That was number two. Also, I can tell the sentence that had to do with levying, the way it was spoken, is the way that people from India tend to speak. That was number three. Let's see, there was about five of them. Oh, um, it just the county was wrong. It said Brazoria County, and there's no county in Brazoria County, and they wouldn't make such a mistake like that. Also, they were having you call 800 numbers. Collection people really don't want you to call 800 numbers. And they would also put the address on the letter of that county office, which was missing. So when you add all these things up, at the end, it became very obvious to me that this was a fraudulent letter. Now, it had me going at first, and if it had me going at first, there's a lot of people, I'm sure, that don't do IRS representation that might fall for it. In fact, I was led to the IRS's webpage on their site dealing with this specific type of fraud. And I also saw that Pennsylvania, the state of Pennsylvania, had put out a notice to people concerning this. It was a lot bigger than I even anticipated. So, my advice is if you get such a letter, you can use the things I just told you to tell it was fraud. And you really don't need to be scared because if they say we're going to levy your fees in 15 days, um, no, it just doesn't happen that way. There's a person, an individual name to contact, which was not on that letter. And that person has to be assigned your case. They have to have documentation from the IRS explaining the nature of the liability. It's not going to just say accumulated personal taxes, it would list the years and the amounts. So the more I think about it, it's very, very obvious to me. But I've been doing this over 40 years. In fact, in 1975, I started doing tax returns and working for H&R Block while I was going to school. And I've 1980 started my CPA firm, and I quit counting after a few thousand cases. So I want people to know, um, Subscribe to my videos. Like them if you like them. And stay tuned because I'm trying to do the podcast circuit now. In the past, had done over 60 Fox radio interviews that I didn't pay for. I was invited, and I got invited back by the hosts. So if you know anybody doing podcasts that wants to, even if they're not in the, tax business and it's a different topic, filing your taxes properly, understanding how the IRS operates at a very simple, basic level is something everybody should know. There's basic things about getting your transcripts, not filing by April 15th. Is it fraud when a national tax company tells everybody to come in and get your return done by April 15th and get a quick refund? Personally, I think it is, because that's an audit waiting to happen. There's no time for the wage and income transcripts to settle. Might sound boring to some people, but you go through life. I'm in my 60s now, and you try to learn as much as you can about things that affect you. I wish in school they gave us relationship courses so that we don't have big heartaches, broken marriages. People will kill each other and commit violence out of broken relationships. There should be a course on how to maintain a high self-worth and confidence, because that's what keeps a lot of people down. And so I'm mentioning this because you should have basic information, and I'm giving it to people. If you do my consultation, if you call Stephanie 713-774-4467, set up an hour consultation, I'll give you personalized to your situation what you need to do to maximize your refund at a level you could feel comfortable with. How to avoid an audit. I have a 4-part audit checklist that to this day, when we used it, I don't know one person that was ever audited. Make sure that you pay your taxes. I still hear, oh, well, I have withholding, so my employer does that. No. I've seen people get penalties. I've seen people break office and compromises, break payment plans, get their paycheck levied, bank account levied, spouse's bank account levied, all because they didn't understand how to file and pay on time and when your payments are due. There's a lot of these things people take for granted. Oh, my accountant, he's taking care of me. No, he's not. I've hired people that I had to let go because they weren't following my policies. They thought they knew better. That's how ingrained in people's minds this disinformation, false information. Every year, we're being told false information because the IRS, Intuit, and tax companies, the media, all have their own agendas, and it's not to benefit you. I want to benefit you. Yes, I want to make money too, but not at your expense. So if you want to up your relationship with the IRS and not get scared when you get these fraudulent collection letters or anything else, if you know you have unfiled returns, if you know you owe the IRS money, let me help you. And if you're a do-it-yourself kind of person, do my consultation. I'll tell you what to do on your own. and go off and do it. I had a guy, he was retired, living on Social Security. He gave me a retainer, I don't know, $600, and he did his own offering compromise. And in the middle of it, he gave me another couple of hundred or something. I told him what to do. And then months later, I got an email from him. Joe, I got my offer. Thank you so much. You didn't gouge me in fees. The whole thing was less than 1,000, and I did it on my own, and it was great. And then I coached him, very critical, on what he has to do in the area of filing and paying on time and making the offer payments on time. And I'm going to tell you, 90% of you just blow it off and go, yeah, I know how to file on time. My accountant told me, or I read it in a newspaper, or saw it online, or I looked at the guide and it said, yeah, file on time and pay on time. No, I'm telling you, no. You've got to go deeper. You've got to go deeper. I'll tell you one thing to make this real for you. If you postmark your payments, the IRS doesn't go by the postmark date. They go by the day it hits your transcript. I've had so many people over the years break their installment agreement and cause levies and come in and go, look, I mailed my check in the day before the due date. Nope. They broke the agreement because it didn't hit the transcript by that date. Now, yeah, you could take the IRS to court, pay $20,000, $30,000 for an attorney to get them to say, oh, okay, the postmark is okay. But why does there have to be a very expensive ego battle with you and the IRS? What I've done in my career, I have dozens of attorneys as clients. I've been very practical. I know how the IRS operates. I know what they look for. I know what they'll accept. And if you follow those rules, you'll never have to hire an attorney to go to court and fight them. Think about it. That's it for today. Call Stephanie, 713-774-4467. She'll talk to you for free. And if the two of you think it's appropriate to set up a consultation with me or directly to Robin to do the returns, then that'll be the thing to do. No hype, no BS, no telling you I could make your taxes down to zero. I'm not going to put your kids on salary, which is fraud if they don't really work for you. I'm not going to tell you to turn a hobby into a business if it's not going to be operated like a legitimate business. There's so many scams out there. Thank you.